Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today we will discuss about factors affecting enzyme activity. Which structure affects the enzyme activity means tertiary structure. Which structure? Tertiary structure. So that is activity of enzyme can be affected by a change in conditions which can alter tertiary structure of protein. So enzyme activity can be affected in which structure means tertiary structure of a protein. Why we are saying proteins means enzymes are chemically made up of proteins. Next, factors affecting enzyme activity means 4 factors: temperature, pH, concentration of the substrate or substrate concentration. Fourth one, binding of specific chemicals that regulate its activity, which are so called inhibitors. So what are the 4 factors means? Temperature, pH, concentration of substrate, and fourth one, inhibitors. Right. First 1 and 2, that is temperature and pH. Enzymes generally function in a narrow range of temperature and pH. That means generally enzymes function at a particular temperature and at a particular pH, that is the normal values. Enzymes generally function in a narrow range of temperature, in a narrow range of pH. But enzyme shows its highest activity at a particular temperature. That particular temperature is so called optimum temperature. Enzyme shows its highest activity at a particular temperature is so called optimum temperature. Like that, enzyme shows its highest activity at a particular pH, that is also called optimum pH. So that is each enzyme shows its highest activity at a particular temperature and pH called optimum temperature and optimum pH respectively. What does it mean? Enzyme activity shows its highest activity at a particular temperature called optimum temperature. Enzyme activity shows its highest activity at a particular pH called optimum pH. That is the meaning of that one. Okay. Enzyme activity declines. Declines means decreases. When does the enzyme activity declines? When below the optimum value or above the optimum value. What happens? Enzyme activity declines. When does the enzyme activity declines means below the optimum value, above the optimum value, enzyme activity will be decreased. That is declines. Enzyme activity declines when below the optimum value or above the optimum value. That is below and above the optimum values, enzyme activity is decreased. Now look at here, my dear students. What happens when enzymes are kept in low temperature? What happens when enzymes are kept in high temperature? When enzymes are kept in low temperature means that enzymes are in temporarily inactive state. So when does the enzymes are in inactive state? That is when enzymes are preserved in low temperature. Temporarily or permanently? Temporarily only. Don't say permanently. So low temperature preserves the enzyme in a temporarily inactive state. Then what happens when enzymes are kept at high temperature? That is enzymes get denatured. Why? Because enzymes get destroyed. Why? Because these enzymes are chemically made up of proteins. So that is what happens when enzymes are kept at low temperature means, that is enzymes are temporarily inactive state. Enzymes are in temporarily inactive state when enzymes are kept at low temperature. Same enzymes, when we are kept at those enzymes at high temperature means enzymes get damaged, enzymes get destroyed. Why? Because enzymes are denatured by heating. High temperature destroys the enzymatic activity because proteins are denatured by heat. This is very important point, my dear students. Right, what is the graph? See, temperature will be taken on x-axis, enzyme activity will be taken on y-axis. This is the graph, temperature graph. This graph is so called bell shape. Similarly, pH will be taken on x-axis, enzyme activity will be taken on y-axis, graph is same graph, bell shape. So, the enzyme activity graph is bell shape for both temperature and pH. Enzyme activity shows its highest activity at a particular temperature called optimum temperature. Don't say critical temperature, you have to say optimum temperature. Enzyme activity shows its highest activity at a particular pH called optimum pH. Don't say critical pH. The shape of graph showing enzyme activity is bell shape for both temperature and pH. Next, concentration of substrate, that is third one. Third factor, concentration of substrate or substrate concentration. Substrate will be taken on x-axis and velocity of reaction will be taken on y-axis. Let us suppose, as substrate is going on increasing means velocity is also increases at first. Velocity is also increases at first, and after some time it becomes constant. It becomes constant. What does it mean? That is, let us suppose there are 100 enzymes. 100 enzymes. Each enzyme is having 4 active sites. Each enzyme is having 4 active sites. Then total active sites means 100 into 4, that is equal to 400. Substrates, 1000 substrates given. So here 100 enzymes are taken. Each enzyme is having 4 active sites. So total active sites in 100 enzymes means 100 into 4, 400 active sites. What are the substrates given means 1000. So that means when we add substrates to enzymes means, first of all 10 substrates and 20, 100, 150, 200, 300, 350, 390, 400 substrate molecules are all added to enzyme molecules. Until then, this graph it increases at first. If there are no free enzyme molecules, it becomes constant. So here 1000 substrates are given. No? Of these 1000, according to this numerical, 1000 substrates means how many substrates will be added to active sites? 400 substrates are added to 400 active sites. Still there are 600 substrate molecules, which are few in number. Enzyme molecules are few in number than the substrates, isn't it? So there are no free enzyme molecules. So that means concentration of the substrate increases means velocity of the reaction also increases at first, until all the active sites of enzymes are saturated. After that it becomes constant. So which molecules are fewer, which molecules are lesser in number means enzyme molecules are less in number when compared to substrates. After that it becomes constant. So it increases at first and then it becomes constant. This would be called as maximum velocity. So this would be called as maximum velocity. So from here to here, this is called the maximum velocity. In this maximum velocity, half of the maximum velocity is called Km value. Half of the maximum velocity is called Km value. Km means Michaelis-Menten constant. What is Michaelis-Menten constant means? Half of the maximum velocity. This is the velocity maximum. Of this velocity maximum, half means this one. So this would be called as velocity maximum, and half means this much. This is so called Km value. Km value means Michaelis-Menten constant. So Km value means half into Vmax, that is Vmax by 2. Therefore Vmax is equal to 2 into Km. Okay. So as the substrate increases means velocity of the reaction also increases at first, and after saturation of all active sites of enzyme, it remains constant. Which molecules are fewer means enzyme molecules are less in number than the substrates. That means it becomes constant. So with the increase in substrate concentration, the velocity of enzymatic activity rises at first. Okay. So as substrate concentration increases means velocity also increases at first. The reaction ultimately reaches a maximum velocity which is not exceeded by any further rise in concentration of the substrate. Why? Because this is because enzyme molecules are fewer than substrate molecules, and after saturation of these molecules there are no free enzyme molecules. Which molecules are few in number? Enzyme molecules are less in number than the substrate molecules. If it is like that means it becomes constant. Okay, right. Half of the maximum velocity is called Michaelis-Menten constant. It is represented as Km. What is Michaelis-Menten constant means? Half of the maximum velocity is called Michaelis-Menten constant. So that is Km is equal to half into Vmax. Km is equal to half into Vmax or Vmax by 2. So as the substrate concentration increases means velocity of the reaction also increases at first. How much time it increases means until all the active sites of enzymes are saturated, until all the active sites of enzymes are utilized. If there are no free enzyme molecules, later on it becomes constant. And what is the shape of this curve means? Hyperbolic curve. Shape of graph regarding concentration of substrate is hyperbolic curve. Don't say hypobolic. Hyperbolic curve. Hyperbolic curve. Temperature graph is bell shape. pH graph is bell shape. Substrate concentration graph is hyperbolic curve. Okay. What is Michaelis-Menten constant means? Half of the maximum velocity is called Michaelis-Menten constant. Okay. And in other words, how they ask, see, let us suppose this is the enzyme. Let us suppose this is the enzyme. First active site, second active site, third active site, fourth active site. This enzyme is having 4 active sites. 4 active sites means, let us suppose for this active site, substrate molecule is attached. Can it be called as Michaelis-Menten constant? No. Why? Because here how many active sites are there? 4. What is the maximum? 4. What is the half of the maximum means? 2, no? So, if 2 substrates are attached means, if 2 substrates are attached to 2 active sites out of 4 active sites, it will be called as Km value. Actually, what is the maximum? If 4 active site substrates are attached means it should be called as Vmax. If 4 substrates are attached to, if 4 substrates 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be called as Vmax. If this enzyme is having 4 active sites, those 4 active sites, substrates are added. So what is the maximum saturation? 4. This would be called as Vmax. Half of the Vmax, that is 4 out of 4 active sites, what is the half means? 2. If 2 active sites, 2 substrates are added, it is so called Michaelis-Menten constant, right? What this Km value represents, see here, Km value represents approximate inverse measure of affinity of enzyme to the given substrate. What does it mean? Inverse measure or a direct measure? Inverse measure, that is, if high Km value means low affinity of enzyme to the given substrate. Low Km value means strong binding of enzyme to the given substrate. Inversely proportional Km value represents approximately inverse measure of affinity of enzyme to the given substrate. Of course, this sentence is not in the NCERT textbook, even though you have to read. This is very, very important point. So Km value represents inverse measure, direct measure. Inverse measure, that is inversely proportional to affinity of enzyme to the given substrate. What does it mean? High Km value indicates weak binding, that is inversely proportional, no? Inversely proportional. High Km value indicates weak binding of enzyme to the given substrate, or low Km value indicates strong binding of enzyme to the given substrate. Right, they may ask in the numericals also. If Vmax is equal to 1800, then what is the value of Km value? What is the Km is equal to Vmax by 2. What is the Vmax value? 1800. 1800 by 2, that is equal to 900. Another model. If Km value is given 1200, then what is the value of Vmax? Km value is equal to Vmax by 2. Vmax is equal to 2 into Km. 2 into 1200, that is equal to 2400. Okay. So what are the points means? Enzyme activity, the enzyme shows its highest activity at a particular temperature called optimum temperature. Enzyme activity shows its highest activity at a particular pH called optimum pH. Don't say critical temperature, critical pH. Okay. As concentration of the substrate increases, velocity also increases at first. How far it occurs means, if there are no free enzyme molecules, it becomes constant. This is the maximum velocity. Out of this maximum velocity, this will be called as half of the maximum velocity. Half of the maximum velocity is called Km value. What is Km? Michaelis-Menten constant. Half of the maximum velocity is called Michaelis-Menten constant. Okay. Km value is an inverse measure for affinity of enzyme to the given substrate. Inverse measure means inversely proportional. High Km value possessing means high Km value indicates low binding of enzyme to the given substrate. Low Km value indicates strong binding of enzyme to the given substrate. Okay. Did you understand, my dear students? I hope you understood. Okay, please note down all these points in your notebook. Try to maintain the notes. If you do not maintain the notes means it is somewhat difficult. So please note down all these points. Now look at here, my dear students, this is fourth factor, inhibitors. When chemical is added to enzyme, when enzyme activity inhibits, that chemical is so called inhibitor and the process is called inhibition. When substrate is added means the reaction will be proceeded. If chemical is attached to enzyme, then enzyme activity declines, enzyme activity stops, enzyme activity ceases, that chemical will be called as inhibitor and the process is called inhibition. So, enzyme plus chemical, then enzyme activity declines, enzyme activity inhibits means and the process is called inhibition and the chemical is called inhibitor. These inhibitors are of three types: competitive inhibitors, second one non-competitive inhibitors, third one feedback inhibition or allosteric modulation. Right. First one, competitive inhibitors. Let us suppose this is the enzyme, this is the active site, this is the inhibitor, this is the substrate. This substrate and inhibitor both are structurally resemble to each other. Substrate and inhibitor both are structurally resemble to each other. See, this is somewhat different. So, both substrate and inhibitor structurally resemble to each other. Now, this is the active site now. If you look at this one, which one is binded? This is the inhibitor, this is the substrate. Substrate means round, inhibitor means like this. So, which one is binded means inhibitor. So, the inhibitor binds to at which place? Active site of enzyme. Substrate is not attached. If substrate is attached means reaction will be proceeded. If inhibitor is attached means enzyme activity stopped, enzyme activity declines, enzyme activity ceases. Okay. This is so called enzyme inhibitor complex. What are the points you have to remember means both substrate and inhibitor structurally resemble to each other. Structurally resemble to each other, one point. Second point, this inhibitor is attached to enzyme at which place means at active site of enzyme. At which place? Active site of enzyme. Shape of enzyme is not changed. Shape of enzyme is unchanged, not changed. Right. What are the examples? What is this enzyme? Particular enzyme so called succinic dehydrogenase. For succinic dehydrogenase means this enzyme will come in Krebs cycle. So, what is the substrate means? Succinic acid or succinate. Actually, for this succinic acid, for this succinic dehydrogenase, if succinic acid is formed is attached means fumaric acid is the product. Fumaric acid will be formed, isn't it? So, here inhibitor is attached. That means no products are formed. Enzyme activity declines. Enzyme activity declines. Right. Here succinate is the substrate. What is the inhibitor means? Malonate. Don't say malic. Malic acid. Don't say malate. It is malonate. So, what is the substrate for succinic dehydrogenase? Substrate for succinic dehydrogenase, succinic acid or succinate. What is the inhibitor for succinic dehydrogenase? Malonate or malonic acid. Don't say malate or don't say malic acid. Malate is different from malonate. Again I am repeating, my dear students, the inhibitor for succinic dehydrogenase is malonate. Don't say malate. The substrate for succinic dehydrogenase is succinate or succinic acid. Okay, did you understand, my dear students? Right. Both substrate and malonate both are analogous. Don't say homologous. Analogous means different in origin but same function. So that is succinate and malonate are analogous. That is, what is the analogous? Ana means different, logos means origin, different in origin, but same function. What is the same function means? Binding of these substances at active site. Function is same, but origin is different. So both succinate and malonate are analogous structures. Don't say homologous structures. Both substrate and inhibitor structurally resemble to each other. One point. Inhibitor binds to enzyme at which place? Active site of enzyme. That structure formed is enzyme inhibitor complex. Next one, shape of enzyme is unchanged. What are the points means? Competitive inhibitors points. Inhibitor structurally resembles to substrate. Inhibitor binds to enzyme at active site of enzyme. Enzyme activity decreases or declines. Structure of enzyme not changed, unchanged. Examples, it is used in control of bacterial pathogens. It is used in control of bacterial pathogens. Second one, for succinic dehydrogenase, substrate is succinate or succinic acid. Inhibitor is malonate. Don't say malate. Malonate is different from malate. Here we have to say malonate. Don't say malate. Statins, this point will come in microbes and human welfare topic. Okay. Statins act as competitive inhibitor for the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. Statins act as competitive or non-competitive inhibitor means competitive inhibitor for the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. These statins are obtained from, that is, yeast called Monascus purpureus. Yeast called Monascus purpureus. It is used for lowering the blood cholesterol. What is the function of this bioactive molecule means? Statins are used for lowering the blood cholesterol obtained from Monascus purpureus, which belongs to yeast. Right. Inhibition of photosynthesis is due to photorespiration is a type of competitive inhibitor. That means, let us suppose this is the Rubisco enzyme. This is the Rubisco enzyme, CO2, O2. If CO2 is binded means, photosynthesis occurs. If O2 is binded means photorespiration occurs. So, if O2 is, that is, Rubisco has the affinity for binding of both CO2 and O2 at active site of Rubisco enzyme. If CO2 is attached at Rubisco, active site of Rubisco means photosynthesis occurs. So, CO2 has more affinity for binding when compared to O2. Which one has more affinity means CO2 has more affinity for binding at active site when compared to O2. In atmosphere, when O2 concentration is more means, then O2 is binded to active site of enzyme Rubisco. Then which process occur? Photorespiration occur. So, this Rubisco enzyme has the ability to fix both CO2 and O2. If CO2 is fixed means it acts as carboxylase. It occurs in photosynthesis process. If O2 is fixed at active site of Rubisco means it acts as oxygenase. That's why the full name of Rubisco is ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase. Oxygenase mostly act as carboxylase, whereas in photorespiration it acts as oxygenase. If O2 binds means photosynthesis is inhibited, stopped. Inhibition of photosynthesis is due to photorespiration. It is also a type of competitive inhibitor. Inhibition of photosynthesis is due to photorespiration is a type of competitive inhibitor. Now look at here, my dear students. This is non-competitive inhibitors. This is the enzyme, this is the inhibitor, this is the substrate. Both substrate and inhibitor do not resemble each other. One point. These are binded. So this is the inhibitor, no? Is this inhibitor bind to active site of an enzyme? No. This is the active site, no? Other than active site, the inhibitor is binded. This is the shape of enzyme. Here the shape of enzyme is also changed. So what are the points here means both inhibitor and substrate do not resemble with each other. Okay, the inhibitor binds to enzyme at locations other than active site. It is not binded at active site, it is binded at other than active site. Shape of enzyme is changed, altered. Enzyme activity declines. See, inhibitor structurally do not resemble to substrate. Inhibitor binds to enzymes at locations other than active sites. Enzyme activity declines, enzyme activity decreases. Structure of enzyme, actually the structure of enzyme is globular. It will be changed. So, structure of enzyme is changed. In the previous, competitive means structure of enzyme is unchanged. So, what are the examples means? Metal ions like copper, silver, mercury. Metal ions like copper, silver, mercury. Copper is an essential element which belongs to micro element, essential micro element 1. Silver, mercury, these two are called non-essential elements. Number of essential elements 1. Number of non-essential elements 2. What are the metal ion elements means? Metal ions like copper, silver, mercury. Okay, and cyanides also. What is the importance of this cyanide means? When these terrorists are caught by police persons means they may put that cyanide in the thread of neck. That cyanide will be taken into their mouth, and after that the respiration will be suffocated. The respiration will be blocked. So that is suffocation occurs. So that means finally the person will die. So those cyanides act as non-competitive inhibitor. That means enzymes of respiration, active sites of enzymes, respiratory enzymes are blocked by cyanides. Finally, suffocation occurs. Finally, that terrorist persons or thieves will die. So that is the importance of cyanides which act as toxins. Next one, third one, feedback inhibition. Feedback inhibition or allosteric modulation. A gives rise to B, B gives rise to C, C gives rise to D. So this is the end product. This end product comes back and it inhibits and it is attached to enzyme of first reaction. It is attached to enzyme of first reaction. Here one enzyme is involved now. So this D comes back and attached to enzyme of first reaction. So this will be prevented. So accumulate here, this is the end product or intermediate product. You have to say end product only, don't say intermediate product. So accumulation of end products of a series of reactions will inhibit the first step of a reaction, or inhibition by accumulation of end products. Feedback inhibition can be done by intermediate products, end products. What we have to say? End products only. Don't say intermediate products. There is feedback inhibition can be done by end products. That is this end product will comes back and it is attached to enzyme of first reaction and it will inhibit the series of reactions. So feedback inhibition can be done by end products. Don't say intermediate products. Enzyme activity decreases or sometimes increases. So that means they act as inhibitors or stimulators. Example for feedback means homeostatic control of metabolism. Homeostatic control of metabolism. Control of bacterial pathogens is an example of competitive inhibitors. Next one, metal ions like copper, silver, mercury is an example of non-competitive inhibitors. Homeostatic control of metabolism is an example of feedback inhibition or allosteric modulations. Now try to understand, my dear students. Try to understand competitive, non-competitive. Again I am repeating. Competitive, structure, both substrate and inhibitor structurally resemble. In a non-competitive means do not resemble with each other. In competitive means shape of enzyme is unaltered, unchanged, not changed. Whereas in non-competitive, shape of enzyme is changed. Okay. Next one, what we have to say? Shape of enzyme, both substrate and inhibitor do not resemble with each other. Next, what is the binding site? Here competitive inhibitors are attached at active site of enzyme, whereas in non-competitive, these inhibitors are attached at locations other than active site. Example for competitive means used in control of bacterial pathogens. Example for non-competitive means metal ions like copper, silver, mercury. Example for feedback means homeostatic control of metabolism. In NCERT textbook, only competitive inhibitors are mentioned. They did not mention about non-competitive inhibitors and feedback inhibitors. Okay, try to read all the three inhibitors. Okay, I hope you understood, my dear students, and we will meet in the next class.